doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I tell you, it just doesn't matter. 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 It doesn't.
What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video. Now, we've been trained for years that a higher resolution equals a better picture when it comes to things like movies, and that it equals better graphics when it comes to something like video games. And even though in the case of video games, that's not entirely true because resolution is only part of what makes a game look good, still, it was also partly correct because with a higher resolution came more detailed graphics, more crisp looking images, so you were able to see more, things looked clearer, things looked better. But we're at a point now where that doesn't matter. Resolution is not as important as it once was, or it doesn't hold the same importance that it once did. And that's because developers are now finding ways to get more out of lower resolutions, to get games that look better at lower resolutions than other games do at higher resolutions. I know it's very counterintuitive, but it's true. And I know right away the first thing I'm going to hear is, bro, you're a fucking pony, bro. Fucking damage controlling Sony fanboy. Tough default show. And no, this has to do with every platform that plays games. This is going to apply to every platform that plays games. This is not just a PlayStation thing. And like I said, it's that developers are finding ways to have better looking games at lower resolutions, and there is a big benefit to that. Because to run games at native 4K 2160p puts additional strain on the GPU. And it's unnecessary strain if the game running at 2160p looks the same as that same game running at 1440p. Because 1440p and 2160p, I'm sorry, to me, they look the fucking same. And unless you have some fucking X-Men powers or Digital Foundry's magnifying glass, you can't tell the difference between 1440p or 2160p. I'm sorry, you can't. And just like I said in my video about the Unreal Engine 5 demo when it first got released, anyone who says they can tell the difference with their naked eye between 1440p and 2160p is a fucking liar. Bunch of bitch-ass, liar-face motherfuckers. I'm sorry, because they can't fucking tell. And I guarantee you I could put fucking two screens up with the game running on each screen, one 1440p, one 2160p, and if I said, hey, you're gonna bet me your fucking paychecks for an entire year which one of those is 2160p, they would fucking disappear so goddamn fast, there would just be a fucking dust cloud in the shape of their body where they used to be. Straight up some like Looney Tunes shit, you know what I'm saying? They can't fucking tell. So then the thing is, why put additional strain on the GPU to give yourself 2160p when you can be at 1440p and instead allocate that extra horsepower to do something else? You know what I'm saying? And the best example of what I'm talking about is what you're seeing right now, the Unreal Engine 5 demo. Because I'm sorry, to this day, that is still the best looking thing I've seen running on a next-gen machine. Show me the game running on a next-gen machine that looks better than the Unreal 5 engine tech demo. Because you can't show me one. Let's not even talk about the fact that Xbox hasn't shown us anything running on the Series X. But even taking that out of the equation, PlayStation hasn't shown us anything running on the PlayStation 5 that looks as good as the Unreal Engine tech demo, even though that was also running on a PlayStation 5. Okay? So I haven't seen a game running on either console or a PC that looks better than the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo. And I think that that's something that we can all universally agree on. Because when we saw that tech demo, all of us were like, oh yeah, that is some next gen shit. That looks next generation. And then what did we find out after that came out? That fucking demo was running in 1440p, not native 4K. Again, show me the game running in native 4K on anything, PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, that looks better than that demo running in 1440p. You can't find it because it doesn't exist. And why does the demo look so good? Because of how many polygons are being put on screen in front of you. How many triangles are being drawn. Like billions and billions and billions of these triangles are being drawn. And they're using 8K textures. And I understand some people may sit there and say, well, I don't understand, because if it's 1440p and the textures are 8K, doesn't that just make the textures 1440p also? But no, it doesn't work that way. Okay? 1440p, 2160p, these numbers just mean how many pixels your screen is made of as far as height-wise and length-wise. For example, 1080p. 1080p is 1080 pixels tall by 1920 pixels wide. Okay? But that's how many pixels height-wise and length-wise the screen you're looking at is. That has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of polygons being drawn in front of you inside of the game. So again, this 2160p, 1440p, these are numbers that realistically, they don't really matter very much anymore. The human eye can only perceive up to a certain level. Like we're talking about, oh, we're going to do 8K and all this other shit. Like the human eye can't really perceive these things. Okay? Just like the human eye can't really tell the difference between 1440p and 2160p. Like I said, unless you have some fucking bullshit X-Men powers or Digital Foundry's magnifying glass or whatever the fuck they use, the human eye can't really perceive the difference. So, to have a game at 1440p, but because it's not using horsepower to bump up to 2160p, it's using that horsepower to draw extra triangles on the screen, to put extra detail into what you're actually looking at. That's why resolution doesn't really matter anymore. And in this next generation, a big thing that's going to happen is people are going to be focusing on the number. Oh, is it 1440p or is it 2160p? And then just assuming, oh, 2160p is better. But that's not necessarily true. Like I said, this right here proves that. Because this 1440p demo looks better than anything I've seen running in 2160p natively on any platform, including PC. And then you have things like DLSS, which is allowing these developers to get almost double their performance out of the game and allowing them to increase the graphical fidelity of games at lower resolutions, to where you can have a low resolution game that actually looks on par or better than the same game running at a higher resolution thanks to DLSS. I don't know how the shit works. It's fucking magic to me because I'm not fucking super technical. But if you really want to learn more about DLSS, I'll link to Nvidia's page where they have a pretty in-depth Q&A about what DLSS is. And I'll also link to a Digital Foundry video where they show you what DLSS is capable of in the game Control. And it's really fucking fascinating what DLSS is capable of doing, and how you can have the same game running at a low resolution, giving you better looking graphics than the same game running at higher resolution without the DLSS. So again, my point is, resolution does not matter anymore, because we're at the point now where what's going to make the difference in terms of graphics, what's going to make the games look better, is not having the higher resolution. What's going to make the games look better is how many triangles they're able to put on screen in front of you, how much shit they're able to put in front of you to give you more detailed environments, more detailed character models. Just bring the worlds that you're playing in to life because they have all this additional detail. And that's what's going to make the games look better. So you're going to have games at lower resolutions that are going to be much more graphically impressive because of how many polygons are being drawn on the screen in front of you, how many triangles are being drawn on the screen in front of you, just like in this Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, versus a game that's 2160p that is not able to do as much because it's taxing to run a game at 2160p. Both next generation consoles are going to have issues running games at 2160p with ray tracing and being 60 frames per second. In order for them to do these things, something's going to have to give somewhere. And obviously, yes, the Xbox Series X is the more powerful machine, so it's going to have an easier time trying to attain the goal of having 2160p and ray tracing and be 60 FPS. But the thing is, why does it have to be 2160p? When they could be making the same game, dropping it down to 1440p, making it easier to implement the ray tracing, making it easier to hit 60 FPS, and having extra horsepower left over to give you more polygons and triangles on screen, to give you more realistic, detailed looking environments, to give you better graphics. Honestly, at this point, for something to be running at native 4K, they're only doing it so that they can say they're running at native 4K. Because I really personally don't see the benefit of having a game running at native 4K, knowing that it's just wasting power. It's wasting power that could have gone towards doing something else. Because the game could have just as easily have been 1440p, looked just as fucking good, and then, like I said, use the extra horsepower to do something else. I honestly feel at this point, to have a game running at native 4K 2160p is just a waste. And it's just something that these companies are going to do so they can kind of like brag about the fact that they were able to do it. And then it's something that fanboys are going to brag about the fact that whatever their fucking piece of hardware is, was able to do it. Like, yeah, fucking our shit ran at 2160p. And it's like, cool story, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Could you send a fuck? Could you send 10 fucks? Cause I don't got none for you. Could you send, could you go fuck? Could you go fuck yourself?
It's just gonna be like a buzzword thing. And this is definitely something that's gonna favor Xbox and PC. Because the Xbox Series X and PC are more likely gonna be able to run games at native 4K easier than the PlayStation 5 will, because they are more powerful. The Xbox Series X does have a more powerful CPU and GPU, so it will have an easier time running games at native 4K. I hate when Xbox fanboys come at me like I'm denying the fact that the Xbox Series X is the more powerful machine. No, I think it's undeniable that the Xbox Series X is the more powerful machine. The whole thing is what it does with that power is what matters. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, Xbox Series X and PC are going to have a much easier time attaining 2160p running games. And you're going to see a lot of people trying to use that as a way to say that their shit is better, that their game is better because it's running at native 4K. When, like I said, it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean shit anymore. All it means, in my opinion, is that that's very nice. Your version of the game is just wasting your horsepower. Because you could have just as easily done it at 1440p, have it look the fucking same, and then use the extra horsepower that you have, both in horsepower not wasted, and the horsepower you have more than the PS5 to do additional shit to make the game actually look better. Put more shit in the game, more detailed environments. Better looking character models, more detailed looking character models, better looking weapons, fucking anything. But making the game run at 2160p is just a waste of the power you have. It's something that you can brag about, and it's something that Xbox fanboys will be able to brag about and hold over the heads of PlayStation people. Same with PC. PC will hold it over the heads of everybody else, just like they hold the fact that they can play games at fucking 120 frames per second over the heads of console players, right? It's definitely something that they'll be able to hold over PlayStation players. But like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Resolution doesn't matter. Being a game running at 2160p does not mean it's going to be a better looking game. Because like I said, to me, 1440p and 2160p look the fucking same. Unless you have that digital Foundry fucking magnifying glass, they're going to look pretty much identical to the human eye. The only difference is one of them wasted horsepower. And why would you be fucking proud of that? Why? Why would you be happy about the fact that you wasted resources that you could have allocated towards doing something else, towards actually making the game look better or run better? Because maybe you can do 2160p with ray tracing and 60 FPS, but if you dropped it down to 1440p, shit, maybe you could have hit 120 FPS. But no, you're losing some of that horsepower by making it 2160p. Fucking for what? Like I said, the resolution doesn't matter. What's going to matter is how many triangles are on the screen in front of you. And the best looking games, next generation, are not going to be the ones that are running at a higher resolution. They will be the ones who are pushing the most amount of polygons and triangles on the screen in front of you. Because I'm going to say it again, resolution does not matter. Not anymore anyway. Not with where we are now in gaming and with the technology and with what developers are able to do. And I hope this all made sense to you guys, because I'm not a very technical person, and I tried to explain this in my own fucking supernova kind of way, where I try to explain it as best I can. But again, I hope you understand what I'm saying. And with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. And that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you agree with what I'm saying, or do you think that 2160p is what these games need to be? 2160p is what the best looking games are gonna be, yada yada yada. Let me know down in the comments, and as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next Supernova.